A 1.5-meter-tall furred mammal called the Uvil stood brooding as he opened his datapad and reviewed his new orders. The Uvil were of a more regal and older species in the galaxy. The message in the datapad read, "Urgent temporary reassignment for First Lieutenant Classus Zolnak of the Imperial Ground Forces." Classus didn't even finish reading the rest of the encrypted message, as he closed his eyes and put his 4-digit clawed hands over his face in dread, as he listened to the low rumble of 100-ton tanks roll by to reinforce his battered battalion. He was being forced to leave his platoon for a temporary assignment that was assigned to the humans. "Maybe my death will be swift," muttered the deflated mammal as he dragged his hand off his face in exasperation and defeat. He stood dead-eyed as he looked over to his right and heard the sounds of rapid barking, a sound only one species made, and apparently it was the sound of amusement, as a pair of humans walked past where he was standing. They gave him a brief glance before continuing their incessant barking. Classus despised these infuriating and hairless apes. Unrefined, undisciplined, and uncultured. They were not warriors, they were just rabble. How they even made it to the stars, let alone provide any meaningful assistance in this war, was beyond him. These things did not only refuse to show respect for Imperial officers, they refused to deploy or take part in any operation in any meaningful number, always off doing God knows what. And they had that way of insulting you with their snide comments like, "You're not my supervisor," and then walk away with that grating barking. Any efforts to have them disciplined were met with excuses or silence. They barely listened to their own officers. They referred to their leaders by their names and only answered to our highest-ranking officer at this post. It was ridiculous. These barbaric monkeys had just barely achieved FTL when the Empire reached out and welcomed them into the galactic fold. They were given favorable terms in exchange of service, and the most they could come up for his front was 150 warriors. The humans were given the gift of hundreds of years' worth of advancements in medical, terraforming, and engineering technology, and in return they were to help beat back the terrors of the universe. This scourge was called the Kong, a cold-blooded 2-meter-tall reptilian ambush predator that burrowed, and they were running through the entire galaxy roughshod. These monstrosities thought of every sapient as nothing more than food or delicacies, turning every world they took into a house of horrors. Even knowing this, the damned humans only sent tens of thousands of their warriors to the most significant strategic location in this war. A hellishly hot and humid tropical world covered in dense jungle called Valtuk. This world was a shithole, its vegetation so thick and its fauna so hostile, it made traversing this accursed world nearly as dangerous as fighting the Scourge. However, securing this world would mean securing a very important strategic location for the Empire. Securing this world gives you a great defensible position to protect the entire solar system, and this solar system provides a great and bountiful staging area to launch assaults deep into Kong core systems. This is the most important strategic location for the Scourge to protect their core worlds, and they knew it. They fought like demons to the last ship, to the last man, and when they ran out of energy for their weapons, they came at you tooth and claw. Even though thousands of broken and scattered ships littered the planet's moon in orbit, only half of their orbital defenses were offline. On the other side of the planet lay their most fortified positions and their heaviest orbital weapons. Thus, in order for the fleet to regroup and secure the rest of the solar system, it fell upon the Imperial ground forces to maneuver and silence their guns. However, the Scourge dug in deep. Millions of their warriors entrenched, defending their orbital cannons with vicious zeal. Every mile of land won was at the cost of thousands. The Imperials were forced into bottlenecks by the vegetation, running into kill zones only our heavy armor could protect us from. The new electronic warfare tech the Scourge implemented made the drones and automated targeting virtually useless on both sides. Their hit-and-run tactics tore into us and turned our tanks into death traps. The Imperials then chased them into the jungle, but that proved to be equally as dangerous as they ran into constant ambushes and traps. The casualties were staggering. "Emperor, watch over him," Classus muttered to himself as he stood up and returned to his troop barracks. As he entered, his men stopped what they were doing and immediately saluted him at attention. These were real soldiers, Classus thought, as he stood proud and tall. "At ease," Classus bellowed. He stood for a moment more before looking at his staff sergeant and saying, "Take care of my boys, will you? I don't know if I'm going to be coming back from this one. I'm assigned to do recon with the apes." Classus's staff sergeant looked at him in pity and saluted. "I'll make sure to get as many home alive as possible, sir." Classus nodded, put away his officer insignias and other markings to prepare for his mission. Classus made his way to the human side of the base. There he saw massive railguns with men yelling instructions, before a massive crack and hum of energy dissipating as it launched its projectile. He was baffled. Why would they install warship batteries in their outpost? What were they shooting at? Didn't they know that gravity dragged down whatever projectile they shot? Didn't they know that the atmosphere liquefied their projectiles if shot at standard powers? Classis was even more worried. He was ordered to go on a reconnaissance mission with only 6 of these humans. Were they too stupid to understand that orbital or drone reconnaissance was impossible with Kong anti-drone technology? How exactly were we supposed to reconnoiter enemy positions? He was told to shut up, select his best linguist fluent in Kong, and give him a report to the human barracks. Unfortunately, he was the best and only linguist fluent in Kong. As he wandered around the human side of the joint base more, a few humans took notice and asked, "Hey, are you the linguist?" Classis quickly affirmed with a, "Yes, I didn't know this side of the base was so active and large," while looking around trying to find his assigned building. The humans looked at each other and pointed at a barracks. "You're looking for the AFO guys. They're over there." Classis looked around confused and asked, "AFO?" Humans smirked and huffed in amusement. "Advanced Force Operations. Recon shit. Just walk in, you're expected." Classis made it to the human barracks he was assigned. Just in front of it was a massive tarmac with several VTOLs spooling their engines. Humans dressed in what he assumed was very light armor and heavy rucksacks, lifting off to do whatever they were off to do. Their armor and weapon had bizarre irregular shapes that were splotched with earthy browns and different shades of the same color as the surrounding foliage. As he was nearing the door, he saw a sign that worried him. An eerie skull with the words written in both Human Common and Galactic Common. Military Assistance Command. Valtuk Studies and Operations Group. And inside were men with green faces. Hell, it's about time. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Everything I use is in the description below. If you have a story you'd like to hear narrated, please let me know and I'll contact the author and we'll see if we can make that happen. Thanks again for watching. It's a scary world out there, but remember to look up and seek the stars.